All right, ladies and gents, this is MD Podcast, and one of the main reasons why I started the show is to definitely highlight my fellow Filipino Americans and especially the elders who came before me. This man right here, I met him on my first feature for my first full-length film, my first role. I did a film called The Year I Did Nothing in 2018, and I remember just sitting in this couch waiting for my scene, and I was sitting across this man, and I don't know what struck the conversation, and we just started talking about acting, and he said, "Hello, my name is Mr. Abe Pagtama," and I go, "Hi, how you doing? My name is Marlon D," and he was like, "I'm a SAG actor," and I was one of the first Filipinos who was like doing theater out here in the '70s, and he was like, "I did the Pepsi commercial for the Super Bowl with Janet, the one where Janet had a technical difficulty."
She upstaged me.
And from there, we just started building, and I started seeing him and his son, Gabe Pagtama, in the premieres. And I just want to say, man, it's an honor to have Mr. Abe Pagtama here. He's definitely had some critical roles in films like Flipside that came out in 1999, one of the first film that was featured in the Sundance Film Festival.
Correct.
In 1999.
2001 when we showed it in Sundance.
That's when you guys showed it in Sundance, right? And had a role in Keanu Reeves' film Constantine.
Yes.
2005, I believe, right?
It's been a while.
And had some reoccurring extra work on shows like General Hospital.
Been a while too, yes.
Young and the Restless, Punky Brewster.
Yes.
Was also in The Debut, a legendary Filipino cult film, The Debut. And you definitely had some critically acclaimed films in the Philippines in the Cinema Live festivals like The Camera Obscura, The Diplomat Hotel, and Lolo Pepe.
Lolo Pepe wasn't there, but Recorder was there.
Nice.
By Michael Red.
And The Recorder, and you did a film called Brown Suit Thing. And
one of the independent one that was made here in the United States.
Nice. And I know you're and I did the film The Year I Did Nothing With You in 2018, directed by Anna Barreto. Peace to Miss Barreto. Much love. And I know that you got another role coming up in The Lumpia with a Vengeance.
Lumpia with a Vengeance, yes. So make sure you watch that. It's gonna be in Hawaii International Film Festival. So make sure you log in, and it's gonna be streaming for one day, and you're gonna enjoy it because you have everything in there. You have you have drama, comedy, action. Maybe there's a little sex in there. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I didn't do it. So it's gonna be fun.
Ladies and gents, man, it's so important for me to highlight the stories of the OGs who came before me. Those who paved the way and made it possible for Filipino cats like me to try to take a stab in acting. So I always take it back to day one, Marlon Abe. I know that you were born in Hawaii, correct?
Yes, I did 73 years ago.
So how did your mom and dad even migrate to Hawaii? And what year did they migrate to Hawaii?
I believe 1945 maybe.
They migrated there?
They were recruited as sakadas. Sakadas are recruited from the Philippines because at that time the Philippines was a commonwealth of United States, was made as American citizen.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys don't know the history, we were once of American citizen before we gained our independence.
Nice.
So it's easier to recruit somebody that as a U.S. citizen than recruiting from other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the status of the Guamanian and the Puerto Rican, we were a commonwealth.
So they were like recruited to become a citizen.
They were recruited to work in the farm.
But in return,
it's easier for them to recruit a U.S. citizen, by the way.
So in return, they will get citizenship if they work for the farm. Is that how it works
if
in
they
Hawaii?
stay there after the independence of the Philippines, 1946.
And then they can be citizens.
Or 1946, I think. And again, the Philippines become independent by itself. Because I was born in 1947.
Nice.
So they were recruited. It's easier through the agricultural businesses to recruit a U.S. citizen, because our status were U.S. citizen at
Yeah.
the time. So for 50 years, we were under
The
the
US.
flag of the U.S.
Yeah, so you guys were technically U.S. citizens.
Correct,
That's
correct.
crazy if you think
Yeah.
about it, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people doesn't realize that we were once a U.S. citizen for 50 years under United States flag. We were colonized by United States.
So they must have came 46 because you were born in 47.
Correct, correct.
Okay, so you were born in 47, but you went back to the Philippines shortly after.
I think I was maybe 2 or 3 years old, and we went back to the Philippines, and we stayed in Kidapawan, Cotabato, which is they were asking for people to immigrate in the island of Mindanao to clear up all the forest. So now become one of the richest breadbasket of the Philippines for farming or anything that you want to do. So that's the history. There's a long history about Mindanao becoming a breadbasket of the Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you remember much about your childhood in Hawaii, like the first 3 years?
I don't really remember anything. I was so innocent that the only thing that I was able to remember is they told me that I was born there, and then they showed me some pictures I was born there, But I don't remember too much. If you ask me about Hawaii right now, it's just the only thing that I see in TV and the newspapers. That's what I know about Hawaii.
Because you spent your formative years in Mindanao.
Correct. Correct.
And you also went to college there, right?
Yeah, I have 2 years college in the Philippines
of
before I
college, okay.
immigrated, came back here, United States. Yeah.
So what made your family even move back to the Philippines the first time around?
They were promised that they're gonna have a land. That's not gonna cost them anything. So at that time, I guess they announced that anybody want to go to Mindanao, you get land. Because at that time, Luzon is already too expensive to live there, or a lot of the lands is really owned by somebody else. But in Mindanao, it's free for
Free
somebody
land.
free land.
So they got that land, huh?
They unfortunately, they have to buy to buy the land, but
They had to buy the land.
the some of it,
Okay,
some
but
of it that is really forest. You have to, big timbers and all like that. You have to clean it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all yours if you can clean it up. So it wasn't really. It was free, but you have to.
You had
put
to
a
do
lot
some
of,
work.
You have to do some work. You have to clean it up. Just like thinking about the Amazon right now, there's a lot of trees and all like that. It's all yours, but you have to clean it up.
How was your childhood years and adolescent years in Mindanao? Was it fun?
What I
it a-
remember to really was I was already in maybe grade school and high school. It was fun. I was wild, to be honest with you. I become rebel and all like that. So I run away from home.
Yeah.
But I always think that I can do better. I have a lot of dreams. When you're younger, your formative years, you have a vision of what you want to do, and that's what I have. Yeah.
What were your earliest recollections of film in the Philippines back then? Like when you were growing up, who were the actors and the actresses that had an impact on you? Because I've watched a lot of your interviews, and when people ask you, like, I noticed when people ask you, what made you want to choose acting? And I remember, I always hear you say, oh, out of boredom. But there must have been some kind of early influence early on that you've seen on TV that you're like, oh shit, I want to try that. Was there any actors, actresses back then?
Yeah, I remember Dolphy, the old, Panchito, Berting Labra, and all like that. And I think I was not even in high school or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sneak in the theater. Yeah.
Like sneak in, like,
Yeah, I was go out
watch
on the
movies.
roof and all like that, and just stay in there until it opens up. But my dad always bring us to a movie at the time, so that's the reason why I was able to see. They're having fun. It's always comedy. Has nothing to do but to do with a real thing. Just actors enjoying themselves, having a hero and the bad guy and all like that. So those are my formative years about movies.
So early on, you kind of there was like that little bug in you that was instilled already, like subconsciously. I'm gonna try acting someday. Like I don't know when, but
I never really think about it
when you were young.
when you were young. But there's one time
But it's
that
funny how you ended
yeah.
up becoming.
yeah, I there was an ad in the newspaper for acting, but it's in Manila.
And you're like, shit.
I
I'm
says,
gonna get
I want to go through that, but I didn't realize how far Manila is from Mindanao. So I sent a letter and was, oh, you're accepted and all like that. So really, so
And you went.
No, I didn't. I didn't have the money. I'm young, nothing like that. But anyway, those are the things that I remember as a young person watching movies, and of course they're all black and white. So those are the things I remember as a young person.
So, what college did you go to out there?
There's a in Kidapawan. There's a called Central Mindanao College, but it's from elementary school, high school to college.
Wow.
So in elementary school, I went to called Kidapawan Elementary School. It was now it's a pilot high school, something like that, or national high school, whatever they call it, up to grade 6. And then into high school, I went to Central Mindanao College. It's a high school. It's funny because I didn't really study while I was going to school. I don't know how I passed it. I didn't study until I was already a junior high, senior high school. That's when I started. Oh, I'm gonna start learning or study. I didn't realize I was good. I started studying and become. My favorite subject at the time was math, and every time there's finals, I don't have to take the finals because I was helping out somebody else. So my teachers, go ahead, teach them how they do that. I'm not that good in math anymore, but because of I blame the calculator. So I just do that. And then talking about acting, technically my dad used to let me memorize poems. So I was a kid, so okay, memorize this one, and they'll give you some money. So okay, I'll do that. So I just memorized. I didn't really know what it says, but just memorize the words. So there wasn't really any feeling, but just memorization or like that. So I guess that's the first thing about acting that I have. Maybe like that, my dad. And then in high school we have theaters and all that, just walking around. So those are my
Earliest
formative years.
recollections.
Yeah, for acting, starting in high school. But I never thought I would really do this as a profession.
So you moved out of the Philippines and you moved back to the U.S., or did you join the Air Force? So what made you move out of the Philippines at 17?
My dad realized that it's not working in the farm, so he came back first to Los Angeles at the
to
time.
LA, and he took you guys with.
Yeah, after 2 years, then we followed him
To LA?
To LA.
And then you come to LA. You're 17.
I was 17.
You're out of high school already at this
I was
point.
in college already. Second year college, I think.
And then, so when you come to LA, what was your plan? What was going on in your mind? Are you like, I'm going to work in LA, I'm going to be an actor in LA, or I'm going to join the Air Force?
I'm going to work.
Well, that was your plan.
That was my plan.
I'm going to come to work.
Majority of Filipinos, just go to, and work. And that's what it is. I never thought about acting or finishing college and all like that. I know I can't afford it. In fact, I tried that. I work, I go to school, Santa Monica City College, and work again. So I got 2 or 3 part-time jobs.
So you were 17, just.
I was 17. I was just going back and forth, and
so you were going to school doing part-time jobs.
Parking cars, bus boy.
What year
driver.
is this? What year did you move to LA?
64.
64.
1964.
Wow. Who's the president in 64?
I don't remember. I think it was Johnson.
Wow.
Because I think Kennedy just passed away. He got shot. And at that time, So that's the whole idea, is just to work. Because my dad was working as a pantry in a restaurant and all like that. My mom was working in a factory, and that's all I wanted, to help them out, you know. And we did bought a house
In LA.
for I was making $1 an hour at that time, so $8 a day. But we were able to buy a house because at that time when we did that, I was working as a bellman in a hotel. So all the money that I make, I never use it. I put it in the bank, but I make more money in the tips. So that's where you know. And I bought a car. You know, so I was telling a lot of kids right now, it's just, you know, you guys just start saving money because right now you can't afford to buy a house. Filipinos before at that time, first thing they do is to buy a house,
Mm.
and they can't do it.
Mm.
Even though the lowest minimum wage, you can do that. You can't do that right now with the minimum wage.
How was the Filipino community in LA in the 60s? Was there a Filipino community? And if there was, did you experience any racism? Or was it difficult being acclimated in a new country?
I never really.
You're 17.
Yeah.
Are you experiencing a culture shock? Are you looking around? You're like, where the hell am I? Like, Whew, that must
I
have
was
been-
surrounded with a lot of Filipinos, the older Filipinos,
the manongs.
the manong that were working in the farms and all like that, and then they immigrated to they came from Stockton, Alaskans, and they become cooks or busboy or work in a restaurant. That's the best job you can get at that time, working in a restaurant. So I majority of the older Filipinos at that time, they were working in a restaurant, and that's what we did. You know, so I thought I'm gonna be a chef at that time too, because you start learning how to cook. You know, they don't have this big chef right now that they have. It was just something that you cook, a daily thing. Making a hamburger or omelette, you know, and something like that. So I started doing it too. Then suddenly Vietnam War came.
The Vietnam War came.
Yeah.
So is that what prompted you to join the Air Force first? Because Was-
yeah.
it prompted you, or someone said you got to sign up?
Were
they
I was crazy, so I signed up with the Marines.
So you wanted to do
I want to
it
be
on
a fighter, man. I said,
you wanted to do it voluntarily on your own.
Yeah,
Like
I
no
did.
one made you like, I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go.
No, because there's two things that you do. Either they're gonna draft you, and you don't have any choice.
And you don't have a choice.
Yeah, where to go?
It's either you do it,
Yeah.
or you don't have a choice because you're gonna draft your ass.
They're gonna draft you. They're gonna give you whatever job do that. So I
You might
went
as
to the
well do-
Marines. And
So-
says, I got in. Says, my dad said, "You crazy?"
So it was the Marines first,
yeah. So okay.
because in your bios it said the Air Force first.
Yeah. So,
So which one is it? Is
my
it-
dad changed my mind, so I joined the Air Force.
Oh, so it was the Marines first,
Yeah.
and then you're like, never mind. I'm gonna do the Air Force.
Yeah.
So you get drafted.
I didn't get drafted.
You signed up.
I signed up.
So where are you shipped to? And how old are you? How old are you?
I was 20.
You were 20.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
right.
you get shipped off for training where? The first place.
My first assignment, I went to basic training in it's called right now it's only San Antonio, Amarillo, Texas,
Go to
which
Texas.
is they closed that already.
You're 20.
For basic training.
And how many years did you spend in the Air Force?
4 years.
4 years.
Yes.
So after you're done with the Air Force, you come back to LA.
Yeah. No. After my training,
Uh-huh.
I actually trained as firefighters,
Mm.
Air Force firefighters.
Mhm.
So I rode the track and all like that. I don't know anything, but that's the only thing they give me, the job that they give me. And I went to a training in Illinois, Chinook Air Force Base.
Went to
That's where the
Illinois.
base for training for firefighters. After Chinook Air Force Base, I got shipped to Germany.
And how many
Yeah.
years did you spend in Germany?
About almost 2.5 years
Holy shit.
or 3 years.
How was
Yeah.
Germany? Did you have fun?
I have fun.
times?
I was I guess naive or like that. So I just work. We work 24 hours a day, 24 hours off. So most of my fun thing, I um, I got a part-time job
Out there,
working as a
Germany.
box boy in the base so I made money. A lot of people just spend at the military first time, but for me I was saving money.
So early on, you knew how to work.
Yes.
Early on, you knew how to work and you knew how to work hard.
Yeah.
To all those listening, MD Podcast, ladies and gents, like the work ethic of a Filipino is something that I take pride in. Like my peoples work hard, man, and my peoples pay dues and we work hard and we don't really take shortcuts. We believe in paying dues all the
Oh,
way
yeah.
up,
Oh, yeah.
and we don't believe in taking the easy shortcuts. We just so anyway. You spent 4 years in the Air Force.
Mhm.
You come back to LA,
Yeah,
At
after
this-
my
Mhm.
I put in my 4 years.
and at this point, are you married? Do you have
No,
kids yet?
I was
You're not married
I was
yet.
Single. Yeah.
You were single. So
Yeah.
you come back from the Air Force. How old are you when you're done?
I was 21.
You were 21 when you're finished with
No,
everything.
24.
24.
24.
So you come to LA. What's your game plan then? Are you like, I'm bored. I want to try acting. What was your game plan when you came back? Or
I was
at
thinking
least
about going back to school
for what? School for what?
or whatever. I can finish 4 years, but at that time, when I got out in the Air Force, there was a training. They were recruiting a lot of military people to go work in the post office. So I did.
So you went to the post office.
I went to the post office. As soon as I got out in the Air Force office, I have a job as a mail clerk in the post office.
So you did that for how many years, you think?
About 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is before acting, or this is during already?
Before acting.
Wow. So
No,
you
no.
did-
In between that, I was in the post office, but I was also. That's when I have the bug. I got out in the Air Force. I worked a little bit, maybe 6 months, and then I don't know what to do. So I used my GI Bill to go an acting school.
So you were
That's what
so
yeah.
you were working 6 months at the post office.
Yeah.
And you were still kind of bored. You were like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm bored. I want to do something else. I want to do another thing.
I have to do something. I have
something
do
to keep you busy, huh?
Yeah.
So
Working,
You do-
working 8 hours in the post office wasn't enough. I have to be busy something.
or creative.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
create something.
Yeah.
So you were like, I'm bored. I'm going to
Yeah.
use my GI Bill to take
Yeah.
acting
Yeah.
classes.
That's when I went to acting school.
I know you went to Lee Strasberg.
Not
You-
yet.
not yet, so-
Just Theater of Arts, which is still in Hollywood right now.
What is it called?
Theater of Arts.
Theater of Arts.
Yeah.
And how many years did you spend in Theater of Arts?
I didn't spend too much in there. Maybe about 6 months or 3 months.
That's a minute.
But while I was doing that, I was getting part in the Hollywood. Getting
What was
acting
the-
jobs.
What was the first role you ever landed in theater?
At that time, I was also auditioning for, you have that drama lodge that you call it. I'm not sure it's still on, that drama lodge. So I look at it and just, okay, we're just an audition for theaters. So
Do you remember the first play that you did?
I don't remember anymore.
How
Well,
about the very first speaking role in a film?
Yeah, at that time,
What was the first speaking
it's
role?
called Slam
Slam.
with Jim Brown, the
Wow.
football player in Cleveland.
What year was this?
I know before the Air Force, the Air Force and the Army.
Must have been mid 70s.
So no, mid 70s. Gabe was born. So before, I think 67. I went back to the Army. So between when I got out, 64 to 67,
You did some films.
I
then.
did some acting. Yeah, speaking parts.
What was
Yeah.
the first commercial you landed within those first 2
I
years?
didn't do any commercial until I got out in the Air Force. Army. Yeah.
How about the very first role as an extra during that first 3 years?
Um.
Whether you spoke or not, just an extra, just like Do you remember? Project?
Hunter, General Hospital,
Nice.
Punky Brewster, which I got upgraded to a speaking part. I'm not sure. I don't remember when I did Siyang Gary Shandling show. That's when I got my card. Gary,
Got your SAG.
yeah. But anyway, that's where I got my. I think I was already in. I got out in the Air Force already at that time. Is that what it is, Gabe? Gary Sandling show?
Yeah.
You don't remember?
That's
Yeah.
when you got your SAG card.
Yeah, that's when I got my SAG card.
And then what made you get? What made you go back to the army again? What made you join the force again after that 3-year break? Were you getting bored?
I was
getting
I was
bored?
wild, spending so much money, and I don't know how to control it. So it's just, I'm gonna go the worst thing so I can save money. Join back the service. You know.
So you were like a bachelor, just kind of
Yeah, I
like
was
living
just
your life, just living.
I was a player. After I got out in the Air Force, I was a player. You know, I have some relationship in the Philippines. It didn't work out. I got approached to somebody. I'm good looking. So,
So you joined the army again, and where were you shipped off to? From you joined the army, then you got
you know,
shipped off to.
I didn't really think. You know, I was just. I signed in for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I took the longest course in the army.
Mm.
So I sent for 3 years, and I spent training for 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have few months to, so when I got out in the training, I only have few months left. So I went back to Germany again.
You went back to Germany.
Yeah, but before that, then I was in training. I met Gabe's mom.
So you met her during training or before?
In the training, I was still
in the
training,
training. In Germany.
No, I was in New Jersey.
Oh, so you met her in Jersey.
Yeah, she lived in Philadelphia,
And was she born in the U.S. or was she
in
born
the Philippines. Yeah.
And she was there because just
Exchange student, a nurse.
wow.
So, you know, at that time, we called them, the nurses, we called them RN. So, why RN? Reserved for the Navy.
So
What year?
You were born 77, so 75, 76.
so you were married during your army stint.
Yes,
What year were you married?
75.
75, and the kids were born 77.
77. was
And then
okay.
your daughter was 79.
I was out in the army already.
when your daughter was born.
Yes.
But when you were in, Gabe was
Yes.
Okay.
She was born in Belgium.
he was born. That's right.
Yeah.
And you had your second daughter at What year?
First daughter.
or first daughter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I meant your first second kid.
Maybe I have someone. I don't know. First daughter.
I
I
meant,
only
your,
got 2 kids that I know.
I meant your second child.
Second child.
And you must be very proud of them, by the way. Man.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The
They're
author,
good
she's
kids.
she's an executive
They
producer
never
for
give me
America's,
trouble. So
America's Top Chef. I know they're doing their thing.
yeah.
So you had your second child at what year?
77, 79.
79. And then you go back to LA again.
Yeah, when I came back, that's when I didn't go to. I think I did some acting
When you
little
came
bit
back.
When I came back, because people calling me up, you know, and say, "Oh, you're back. Okay, so let's do some." So some of my agents remember me. Say, "Oh, you're back. So okay, we'll put you in." So,
So I know I've read your bios, I've done some research, and I know that there was a gap of time where you took a break and came back.
Yeah.
Right? Was this
Yeah.
a time like, were you busy? Did you take a break because you were maybe busy raising a family, being married? And with
I
kids?
wasn't.
Looking back,
I didn't believe that I could make it.
Mm.
You know, it was still hard to get in.
But you were landing roles, like you were landing things. Like
After that, but I didn't really think about it. And then there was a call for a Filipino film. Where's Flipside? Oh, yeah. What I was doing at the time, so we went back on theaters again. We're doing a lot of Filipino theaters.
nice. So you were
Yeah.
back in the theater circuit.
Yeah, and then so one
You
of
kept
the
polishing the
person, so oh, Abe, you know, there's an audition for Flipside. So okay, so I tried that and I got the part, you know, as the dad in
And
the
this-
Flipside.
Mhm.
By the way, if you can, I don't know if it's gonna be in the video. Flipside
Amazon.
by Rod Pulido. The first
Flip
Filipino
Side.
film that went to Sundance Film Festival.
Yes.
Mhm.
That was a big deal for the community.
Yeah.
One of the the first Phil-Am film in the Sundance Film Festival.
Mhm.
So you got the role in 1999,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they didn't really show it till 2001.
2001, I went to Sundance.
So it
Yeah.
took a good couple years to finish it.
Yeah.
And then really
Yeah.
submit it to the fest.
Mhm.
I saw the clip for that.
Yeah.
And you were definitely playing
The dad.
the stereo, not the, I wouldn't say the
Stereotype.
stereotypical dad, but
Uh-huh.
that stern Filipino dad role that we all know.
Mhm.
How was that role like for you? Did it take a lot to bring the father out of you because you're a father yourself?
I was just
Or-
depending on the script
Mm.
and just acting what the script is showing me.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the reason why, I was able to get the part.
Mhm.
Because in the audition, that's what we did.
Mhm.
So we read it and did some improvisation, and then let us think a little bit and memorize something. So I was able to convey to the director, which is Rod Pulido.
Shouts to
So-
Rod Pulido.
Yeah, so he
Classic
took me
work.
as the dad, and that's when I got my hook again in acting.
You got hooked into it
Yeah,
again.
after working, work in the social care. No, I was in the post office. Then I got out as an entrepreneur.
Socials.
I didn't go back to the government job right away. I worked as a insurance agent for farmers insurance and all like that. So yeah, then I got the part, and then after that, then I start going back to acting school again. I get more confidence, put that way. When you go, you're not really sure about yourself, then you train yourself to be more believable, or you start believing in yourself. So after Flip Side, then I didn't stop anymore. I start I'm doing a lot of I don't think doing a lot of atmosphere work, and also at that time also I was able to get an agent for commercial. That's when almost every week I got an audition. So I did more commercial than
films.
films or
And
TV,
TV,
shows.
yeah.
Because I never got a theatrical agent to it. Most of my theatrical agent or the movies that I got, they call me up. They already know that
They know
Yeah.
about you.
What
They
I
know
can
what
do.
you can do.
yeah.
So you spent 20 years in Social Security,
Yes.
As a government job, right?
Yes.
Wow. So how did it feel when you're in the Sundance Film Festival, knowing that this is the first Phil-Am film? Like, how did that feel for you guys, for the director, the cast, watching
Yeah.
yourself in the
I
screen?
think the younger person, like Rod Pulido and all my friends, they expected something it's cooking that we're gonna make. They're gonna know about Filipinos version. At that time also, the book came out,
Yeah, shouts.
which
Classic.
me and Gabe was also in the movie.
Classic.
And my son and my daughter was also work behind the scene and on Dibu. So Gabe, sit down here. Yeah. So we start doing that. So I didn't realize that it will take us long again to get something going on right now. After 20 years, Flip Side and Dibu. Now we have Yellow Rose, we have Nanay Ko, or whatever they call that thing, the girl that left home. Now, of course, Flip Side, Lumpia with Vengeance, gonna come out very soon, so make sure you watch that. You're starting.
Shouts to the whole crew. Shouts to the
Yeah.
whole cast. Rapping for the Filipinos.
Patricio and Elsa, AJ, in the movie on that. Danny Trejo is in the movie. I'm in the movie. So it's going to be fun. Please support us on that one. And hopefully you have everything in there. You have drama, comedy, anything you can think of. It's in the movie. It's very commercial. I don't think it's gonna win any award or anything like that, but you're gonna have fun watching that. So
Look
make
out
sure
for that.
you watch that. Tell everybody to watch that movie. Yeah. So that's my story about. And of course, right now I'm been in the. Move back a little bit. Can you see?
Okay.
You okay? Anyway, yeah, I didn't realize it's gonna take us another 20 years after Flip Side and debut that we will be start doing this, and I'm glad to the younger generation that making films right now, and I appreciate the new filmmakers doing that. Yeah.
Shouts to Mr. Gabe Pagtama joining us today too. So,
Yeah.
Marlon Abe, so take me to the. How did you land the Pepsi commercial for the '06 Super Bowl? Was that
it's
the phone call
yeah.
from the agent?
My agent sent me to an audition, and I was the first one
to get
to
do
the
the
audition. And I can't see it right now. I was in the post office at that time, and I chose to do a lot of commercial because I can get off for 1 hour or 2 hours and go to audition. And I went to the audition. I was the first one, the audition, and I just do my thing and
Yeah.
just read the script. And yeah, and behold, I was called back. I thought I was a callback,
Yeah.
but they said you got the job. So what happened to the callback? Why do you need a callback for when you already got the job?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in the studio for about 2 days doing that Pepsi commercial. By the way, it's 2006 Super Bowl Pepsi beer commercial. You can Google that. And I was the one behind. I'm supposed to be playing an Eskimo or
Yeah.
something like that. But they couldn't really figure out. it was and that year, the one that 2006, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, then we gotta break
I
it
got
down.
I got upstaged by
By
Janet
Miss-
Jackson.
Miss Janet.
Because if you remember 2006,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, yeah,
So your commercial was right before the show.
yeah. Well, they were running it. I think they ran it twice, but
We'll show it. We'll show it for you guys on
Yeah.
on YouTube or something.
but
That's
you
awesome,
know,
man.
I love commercial because, to be honest with you, you make more money in commercial than the movies or TV shows.
So you got
Because
50
in the movie, it will take a while before you start getting a residual.
Yeah.
But in a commercial, within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then start running it.
Yeah.
Then you get residual right away.
Dropping gems right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So that was an infamous Super Bowl, man. That was
Yeah.
that was a hectic year. So take me to how did you land the role with Constantine with Keanu Reeves? How was that audition process like for you? And how was it like working?
They call us. I don't know how. I know my agent didn't send me out because it was just an atmosphere. So they line up. We went to a studio. I said, okay, you're in, you're in. So I was in the first day of shoot, but I worked at least 3 weeks on that one, or 2 to 3 weeks. And I didn't get any credit because I was only playing an atmosphere, but Keanu Reeves is really one guy that you want to work with.
Nice guy.
He's a really nice guy, and I smile all the time because he always call me sir.
He was very respectful.
This
Huh?
superstar calling me sir.
Yeah.
So it's funny when I think that the movie industry, when you're in the first shoot and they call you back when they wrap it, the movie. So I kept going back and all that. So I did make good money because we have a lot of overtimes and all like that.
Nice.
Right, and I was in the scene a lot. You see my face a lot. So the famous one in the Constantine is the exorcism.
You did
I was in
actually.
that. Yeah.
Nice.
So and it's funny because they were mentioning my name in the Philippines a lot.
Nice.
That this is a Filipino guy.
Yeah.
The Constantine. Even that now, you were the Constantine. Yeah. So which one are you in the scene? Check out the exorcism one. I'm there. So that's my experience with Keanu Reeves. It's really a good guy.
So I know you did some voiceover work for Godzilla too, right?
Yes, I did.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
How was that experience like for you?
To be honest with you, that's my first ADR using my voice. And
Yeah.
if you watch Ratchet,
Hmm.
John Briones, me and him were on that and the
Netflix.
ADR.
Oh, it's on
Yeah.
Netflix?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ratchet
yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
John Briones.
Yeah.
He was also in Versace.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Playing
And,
the father in Versace.
And now we're doing a script reading, including John Briones and Gabe.
Payback in Manila.
Hey, back in Manila.
Nice. You guys got a project.
Virginia Travis. I'm blogging you guys.
So if you guys were interested in investing in movies,
Yeah.
and, films, and yeah, we got this really great project. So,
Yeah, Gabe also involved in
Yes.
yeah.
yeah, with right now I'm involved with one of the hottest stocks right now. It's HQGE is a stock ticker, but it's a Big M Entertainment,
Hmm.
and we're doing a lot of productions right now. It's the hottest stock right now in the OTC.
Yeah.
So make sure you check that out.
Nice.
HQGE, that's the stock ticker, and it's Big M Entertainment or BigMEntertainment.com. My friend, my brother from a different mother from St. Monica's, Marvin Williams, is the CEO president, and we're doing big things.
Nice.
Big M Entertainment.
Yeah.
Making moves.
Hopefully soon we'll be filming in the Philippines pretty soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
So I know, Manong, you've been doing some critically acclaimed films in the Philippines, right? You did some work with Dolphy's nephew, Rival Siblings.
There was a short here. We shoot here in United States
Okay.
by Justin Kizon, a nephew of Dolphy. Yeah.
And you did Camera Obscura, and it was nominated for the 2012 Cinemalaya Best Film.
Yeah, Raymond Red produced that. It was his in mind for a long time, but in the early stage of films, he couldn't do it. Now, he finally was able to do that, and after what was it, actor? With the silent movie that won the Academy. But anyway, hopefully you guys are gonna be able to see that movie because it's really cool. Just like me. In the early 20s when the silent movie, like that. And
That's
so,
right. I saw
yeah.
the effects on that.
Yeah. And I played a good role in that. I co-starred with Pen Medina, one of the good actors in the Philippines. And my friend, Mon Confiado, is in that movie also. Raymond Red won the Palme d'Or in a short movie called Anino. He's the first Filipino that won the Palme d'Or in Cannes.
That is awesome,
Yeah.
man. I know that you've had a chance to balance different roles, like acting, but also you produce films.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer? Acting, producing? Is it difficult to produce one? Like, what's your thoughts?
It's a long
producing?
process of producing from the beginning and then the writing and all like that. But it's quite different. In producing, it's actually time management. You have to have patience and all like that. It's a longer process, but that's where everything started. In the producing. A lot of things that you have to put in before they start shooting, getting the money together, putting everybody out, making everybody happy, and hopefully you don't get pissed off.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you get turned down. If you think acting, you get a lot of turned down. Try producing. You get more headache. But it's a process. Like they say, enjoy the journey.
And I know that there were some other films like Diplomat Hotel and Lolo Pepe. I thought your role in Lolo Pepe was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like, I know it's slightly based on the syndicate in the Philippines, right? On how it works out there.
No,
when
Lolo Pepe
they
really.
become aging mobsters.
It's here. Supposed to be in LA. A little, according to the producer, there was really it's a true story that it happened. I never really was able to believe that there was something like that in the United States, but they said Yeah, there was. You know, at that time in the early when I just arrived, the Sigi Sigi, the whatever they call them, they form a group just to protect their own self,
Protect
like
the
that, yeah,
community,
the
yeah.
community. So I never really experienced that thing, but again, I'm an actor, so whatever they put in the script, that's what I do. I just try to imagine what the character is trying to do. So I'm very comfortable being a serious actor, a comedy, whatever you want to do, whatever the script is asking for. For me, I do believe now that I am a good actor.
Oh, yeah, you
So
are.
after 40 years or 45 years of acting, I think I gain a lot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, OG. So you've done films like The Recorder, Brown Soup Thing. What are your top films that you've worked on in the Philippines? If you had to pick two, like what are some of the best work you've done out there, and how does it feel, man, to be working and back in our homeland? What are some of your favorite projects?
For me, because I speak, Tagalog, Ilocano, Cebuano, this quite different thing. In the Philippines, I do it because of my friends. It's not in the money. So it's much more, I'm an actor. I can do anything. I can act anything. It doesn't matter. Forget about money or something like that. But I do. If they give me a good roles, I go to shoot it. Even the United States, I do the same thing. Right now, it's a little harder in the United States because, in fact, in the United States right now, in the pandemic, most of the audition is done through the internet. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I know there's an upcoming film, Lumpia, with the Vengeance. It's
Yeah.
coming out in
Lumpia!
November 3rd, right?
Yep.
Lumpia!
And where can people tune in on November 3rd for the film? Where and how?
If Google right now, because it's only showing in a film festival in Hawaii,
Okay.
so you Google Lumpia with a Vengeance, and I'm sure it's gonna come out in there where you can watch it. And,
They're gonna be live streaming it.
Live streaming it for one day or something like that.
Wow. I know that Gabe has a part and
Yeah.
you have a part in the film.
Yeah.
That must be exciting, guys, coming out with the next project.
Yeah.
How you guys feel about this joint right here?
Oh,
It's gonna make
Lumia's
some
gonna be
noise.
really fun. It'd be pretty fun to see myself. I'm the videographer at the wedding. So, like in the debut, if you watch the debut, I'm also the videographer in the wedding. So it'd be pretty cool. It was really fun to really just like, it's like a big family, right?
Yeah.
So we all drove up to the Daly City and
Film out there.
we just filmed for a couple days. It was
Fun
just like
times.
a big,
Yeah.
fun play, work.
And I salute the producer, Patricio.
Shouts to
He
my
really
people.
worked hard on that. Patricio,
Good job, man. Good job to
Yeah.
my peoples making moves like this. The Filipino community, it's needed.
I just want to say about Patricia as a director, and she's too cool, man. I never seen him get pissed off. She's always, I know there's a lot of challenge when we were shooting, and this guy's so calm.
Nice.
I have a good story about him, and when we were doing debut, because he's the guy. He was still school at the time, USC,
Trojans.
and he's the Trojans.
Fight on.
Fight on. So, Pat, thank you for you keep using me all the
Yes,
time in your movie,
Patricio.
and I am hope you think you're gonna be as your lucky charm. So because you always use me.
Nice.
Yeah. So please support all these movies right now. Yellow Rose, Nanay Ko, they changed the name on it.
The Why I Left Home.
Why I Live Home by Mallory Ortega. There's another one, a short movie called Bazuero. There's a lot of things coming out, of course, our movie. And there's more coming out. So if somebody's asking for money from you guys, please donate some money because I don't think I'm going to be be a while that we're gonna be getting money from the big studios. So it's gonna be a community.
It's gonna be a community
Yeah,
effort now to
yeah.
make films.
Yeah. Whatever you can donate, $5, $10 is good for, for food for the actors and all like that, or just keep us thinking about, hey, we got future here. So
Yeah, or even if you see like hear about a Filipino movie
Yeah.
out there, buy some tickets. You don't have to go.
yeah, you don't have to go to
see
watch
it.
it. You can buy the ticket.
Just go buy the tickets.
Just buy the
man.
tickets, yeah.
Yeah.
But see it.
Yeah,
God damn
it
it.
would be fun, and also
See it. See
promote
that
it,
shit.
like it, share it. That's
Like
the way
the
you're gonna
share
go.
button.
Yeah, that doesn't cost nothing. Just a simple reshare of the flyers. It'll help spread the word. So, how do you feel about the reception for The Year I Did Nothing? Which is, by the way, out on Amazon Prime
Yeah,
right now.
get it.
He had
Oh,
such a
yeah.
comedic role, and that's where I met him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How do you feel? Because it got out there. There was
Yeah.
a lot of film fest. It was.
Anna
in PBS.
Barreto.
Anna Barreto.
Yeah, director.
It was shown in PBS Guam. It was shown
Wow.
in CNN Manila.
Yeah.
It was shown in New York, North Carolina, Frisco.
Yeah.
It did good. Seattle.
Yeah.
How's that been like for you? Like just seeing the success of the indie film, the indie route.
Yeah, that's the way I look in
Such
I
a-
was
such a funny
a driver too. I was driving a car while doing this. So just imagine that a blind guy driving a car in the Philippines. Anna Burrito, thank you for really waiting for me. He doesn't think I will be able to do it. I didn't think I will be able to be in the scene also. But just, Abe, you got to be in this movie because you are that blind guy driving.
Yeah, that's so funny. And I would see Manong Abe
Yeah.
at the film festivals, and it was a pleasure just sitting with you guys laughing. It was like a family thing too. Like it had a
Yeah.
very family vibe to that cast. Shouts to the whole cast. I'm proud of you guys.
Yeah.
So I know you do some real estate too.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your real estate business? Where can people find your services at, and what is it about real estate that drew you in?
I've been doing this in real estate. That's another one that the entrepreneurship investing in the Philippines in real estate. The biggest challenge right now with the Filipinos in the United States is that it's hard for them to be able to buy real estate in the United States right now because they're requiring down payment, and if you don't have any down payment, your monthly mortgage will be so high.
Right.
So you're looking about maybe $30,000 to $40,000 for a down payment,
Yeah.
and then your monthly will be $3,000 to $4,000. So a combined income for husband and wife, probably you have to be making around $150,000 to $180,000 per year, combined or by yourself to do that. So my suggestion is that why don't you invest in the Philippines first and get that the property go up, the value in the Philippines goes up all the time. And when it's time to sell it, you can sell it and bring the money back for your down payment. To do that. That's my other alternative. The other alternative is that hopefully you have parents that already save money and they're going to give you some money to put a down payment, that's the only one that's happening right now. Your parents has enough money to borrow from their equity and to give you the money to pour a down payment. But that's very unique that a lot of you can do that. Otherwise, the new Filipinos right now is to maybe go back in the Philippines and retire there, which a lot of newer Filipinos go back in the Philippines to retire now. They're not even thinking about retiring here. People that are retiring here has been here about 30 years or 40 years.
Right.
That's the only way. But I'll tell you guys, the properties in the Philippines right now is really the most self-opt people, the foreigners are investing in the Philippines. They can make up to 25% ROI per year or increase of the value of the property, 25%.
Oh wow.
So by the time majority of the Philippine market real estate is that you buy them while they're in construction,
Yeah.
pre-selling. It's not like in the United States that it's already it's already there. You only have to put the down payment, qualify for your credit score and all like that. You can still do it, but if you're not saving at least 30% of your income, I mean, paying yourself first before paying somebody else, then it's not going to happen. Your dream of owning a property
It's not
or
gonna
real
happen.
estate is not going to happen. I'll tell you right now.
Break it down. Break it down.
Having retired also in the Social Security,
Yeah.
don't depend on Social Security.
Wow.
And majority right now, if you have a job, you better get another extra part-time job.
We're fucked.
Because you're in the word shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's you can delete that.
It's all good. We can keep
But
it.
it is in my situation.
Bosco Brothers.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek.
Hi guys. In my situation right now, when I arrived in the United States, I was making a dollar an hour, and I was able to buy a property in Marina del Rey. And I was able to, for a guy who's making $1 an hour, $8 a day, was able to buy a property.
Wow. That's
Right
amazing.
now, if you're not making about $40 to $50 per hour, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to be paying somebody's mortgage. You're going to be renting apartment building. We're going to charge you to $2,000 to $3,000 per month. I would say be smart. you know. I know it's hard. Some our younger people doesn't even think about that anymore.
We're not preparing.
You're not, because the first thing is I can't afford that, so I don't even want to think about that. But you can, with the guys sitting down with you,
You need some discipline.
talk to us.
So how can people find your services for the real estate?
Um,
Where can they find you? On Facebook or?
Well, a lot of people that were watching right now, they know me. You can, contact me in DM me or PM me. A lot of you guys know my phone
We're
number,
on
my
Facebook
email
Live,
address.
No doubt.
You can talk to me. But the thing is that it take patience, sacrifice, just like anything else. It's like acting. A lot of people ask me, how do you, maintain your being an actor? My first suggestion when you're an actor, say, make sure you have a job. you can't just live being an actor.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Otherwise, I know there's a lot of actors. They're not married, they're single, because they can't afford a family. So that's what it is. But if you want an actor, just keep working on it, but don't sacrifice your family. There's no such thing as that. I'm gonna do this no matter what. It's okay. Then again, you slap yourself because you don't care about anybody. But if you want to have a family also, then you gotta balance things out. You gotta balance things out. I know I was a good actor, but I can't sacrifice my family.
Never. And
Yeah.
you raise good. You raise
Yeah.
some good kids.
You have to. I know if I concentrated on that, really put a lot of time on acting. The problem, there's so many good actors right now, especially in the Filipino community,
Right.
especially the women, the Filipinas. There's more Filipina actresses than actors.
Really? Why do you think is that?
Because the Miss Universe.
Miss Universe. To be honest with you, there are more Filipino actresses than Filipino actors. Because of in America, they always think about the beauties of Asian and all like that. But in the Filipino community, it's so hard to get, unless we start producing our own. That's the only way.
So, the Filipino community, what do we need to do to break through the industry? Should we try to break through the industry or just keep our cult following just to ourselves? What needs to happen? what are the doors that we got to break to get in there? To even get a Netflix deal, Amazon, Hulu.
Number
What
one,
do you think we got to
yeah.
change?
Number one right now, please support Lumpia. If Lumpia gonna start making money, everybody gonna follow. It's all about Hollywood is about money, you know. So when we make this money, we get more support financially than somewhere else.
They got to see
Business,
that.
you know, they call it they call it shoe business. They don't call it shoe business. I just call it shoe business. It's not shoe
Show.
art. It's not
Yeah.
shoe art.
Show business.
It's just shoe business. It's a business.
Yeah.
If we can show that a Filipino film can make money, then the money will come.
Yeah.
But as long as that, don't expect Filipinos also. Well, unfortunately, people are gonna give you money. You know, especially it's so hard to convince Filipinos to support the art. Even now, you know, I'm talking to you guys, and a lot of you doesn't even want to buy a ticket. You know, the funny thing about Filipinos when this is, can you give me a free ticket, please? He says, can you give me a free ticket? Sample lang. Give me a sample. Yeah.
I think some of the things got cut. So I'm going to ask that question again because something got cut. So
Okay.
one more time, for the people's listening, what can the Filipino community do to improve our chances of getting heard in the mainstream media, as far as getting us into outlets like Netflix or major network? Do we need more creators? Do we need more writers trying to submit this? What do we need to change in our creative side? of things?
Definitely. We need writers.
We need more writers.
Writers, and they start doing that. But the main thing is that when we produce something,
We have to support.
support it. Because without the money, Hollywood can't see that. You know, it's called shoe business, not shoe art. You know what I mean? So as long as we can't, no matter how talented we are, if there's no money going in, the big studios is not gonna be able to see us. So,
Because
yeah.
they have to see that it's generating money
Yeah.
for them to even support it and put a stamp behind it.
Correct. That's very important. But of course, somebody has to start writing. Somebody has to
We have to start writing the stories.
talking about a story about us, because the good thing about Filipinos and films is that now they can play any ethnicity, any part. But I'm glad to allow a lot of this big time Filipinos that's coming out right now, that like Darren Chris, even John Brunis. You know, it's funny because John Brunis in Ratchet, his last name is not Filipino at all, but he says I'm Filipino, and Darren Chris is also I'm Filipino, and a lot of mainstream actors and actresses right now, they're claiming they're Filipinos, and I'm sure they are. But their rule is still anybody could play it. That's one thing good about being Filipinos, because they can play any ethnicity. You know, like the Bamba and all like that. He's playing a Mexican guy, but you know he's playing a different role.
Diamond Phillips.
Diamond Phillips, Darren Chris, you know, John Brunis right now, and there's a lot of Filipinas that are playing main role, and they don't they're not even mentioned that they're Filipinos, but when you talk to them, I'm Filipino. You know.
I got a chance to interview Gabe a couple weeks back,
Oh.
and speaking of the Filipino experience, Gabe has a book, The Watsonville Riots,
Yeah.
based on true events of the Watsonville Riots, and it is now available on Amazon.
Yeah.
And we got the book right here.
Yeah.
For all those who are tuning in, the paperback is also available on Amazon, and the ebook version is coming out really soon. And I think it's important for my peoples to preserve the story of our Filipino manongs, because the Filipino contribution in the country is rich, and I feel like it's definitely underrated, and
Yeah.
we've contributed in the United States. So what's your advice for upcoming actors, especially Filipinos, trying to get in this industry? What's your advice for like screenplay writers, directors? Because I know you've seen this business go through a lot of changes since the 70s.
Yeah.
You probably experienced some hardships as far as like being categorized in the box, not getting certain roles, or like just, I don't know if you've experienced systemic racism in Hollywood.
Yeah. It's part of it.
It's part of it, right?
Yeah.
It's part of the game.
Yeah. It's not.
And,
I don't get pissed off or anything like that.
You just expect it. You know how it is.
It happens.
It happens.
So what? Just keep going. You know, it happens. It happens to white people. You know, it happens to black people. It happens to Mexican people. So why not happen to Filipinos also?
It's cutthroat out there.
Yeah, it's about money. You know, and no matter what your ethnicity, if they don't make money, nothing's gonna happen. Like we wanted make. Actually, Gabe wrote a script on this before. You know, he wrote a book.
You guys got to get this book.
Yeah, and
It's a tragic story about.
you know,
the
if you
Philippines.
guys want to Google this, you know, the Watsonville riots. So Watsonville riots, you can Google it.
Based on true events, the Watsonville riots, written by Abe Pagtama.
Yeah, we kind of fictionalize it because we want to make sure that, you know, it's just also fun. It's not all the bad thing and all like that. So hopefully this will get on the screen. You know, we'll be able to do that. And of course, we're looking for producers and all like that. So, but I think it's made this book or the script is made into it's commercial. We got a commercial right. So and also there's a lot of trueness, and that's because of my dad experience once he got recruited as a farm worker in Hawaii. So we incorporated that thing to a lot, and all the stories that when I was young and went to Delano. And we put in there also.
Because the Filipino community definitely played a part in like farming in Southern California.
Yeah.
And
The labor movement.
shouts to my fellow Hispanics. That's why when my Hispanic brothers go through something and they're not being treated fairly, I don't think Filipinos are exempt from that. I feel like, how do we know that it's not going to be turned on us? We're brown skinned too.
Yeah.
So when my Hispanic brothers go through something, it doesn't make it any better for us Filipinos thinking we're all good and we're exempt from it, because we're not. We definitely donated some of our back-breaking labor in this country, you know. And you know, we got paid for, you know, it was hard cash earned to be a farmer. You know what I mean?
To be honest
And
with
this
you,
this is not written in history books, but we got books now.
the
written by
Latinos, the Mexican, and the
Filipino.
Filipinos are like that.
It's
you know,
like
very,
this.
you know. So,
we're tied in, man. You can't.
In fact, Philippines was governed in Mexico during the Spanish War. I mean, Spanish time. Our governor was based in Mexico. So, you know, our language is very close to each other. A lot of Filipino words or Tagalog is in Spanish. And we still do. Very close to it. So we're, like Manny Pacquiao said, we're also Latinos.
As far as before we get off, what are the advice that you can give for like the upcoming Filipino actors out here trying to do their thing in Hollywood? What can they expect from this business that they don't think they're gonna expect? But what are the harsh truths that they need to like really prepare for in this business?
Always prepare yourself to be the best. You know, go to acting school. Watch a lot of movies right now. You can learn a lot, but a lot of people, you know, just watching Netflix and all the different ethnicity in Netflix. Well, what I like about Netflix is that you have a different movies
Selection.
Selection. It's not just like. Sometimes I'm getting tired with this popcorn movies about, you know, it's so common. You know how it's gonna end, you know. But there's so many stories in there. Just prepare yourself that everything is not sometimes smooth.
It's not smooth. It's not gonna go
smooth.
smooth all the time.
It's all the time. Majority that I will say I will be a good salesman because I know how to get turned down. because I get turned down a lot.
So you need to
Yeah.
learn how to face rejection in this
Yeah.
A lot
business.
of rejection.
A
It's
lot of
almost like you
rejection.
got to get desensitized by it. Like
Rejection
Ah.
every
you just
day.
got to get used to it.
Yeah.
Like rejection's part of this.
So rejection is part of it, and of course, I say if you know, don't put too much eggs in one basket.
I know we got brothers like Manny Pacquiao and Joe Coy representing the Filipinos and the Philippines in a real way. Do you think the U.S. mainstream is ready for the Filipino experience? Do you think they're ready to hear about our stories as immigrants? Because they can't front on Filipino. Like we've been here for a while.
You know, we're.
Are they ready for us?
I think if we can put a good story, you know, that people watching movie is for me. In some people, they just want to forget of all the problems in the world. You know,
That's not
entertainment.
realistic.
It's entertainment. With Lumpia, I think you will be able to see that Lumpia with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Because it's a comedy. It's you have the bad guy, good guy in that thing too. So I know I keep repeating about Lumpia because
It's all good. Yeah, we're here to promote.
hopefully
Yeah.
that will really resonate about making money and supporting it, just like
in the community.
in the community, like they were saying. Just go buy the ticket. You don't have to go watch a movie. You know
That counts, guys. Just to even buy the ticket.
buy the
just that-
ticket.
That, counts.
So we'll be able to do that. That's including Yellow Rose. You know, if you haven't seen the Yellow Rose, please go watch that movie.
Watch Yellow
by Diana
Rose.
Paragas.
What are the films that can? What are your films that can be seen in Amazon Prime right now? Any films in Amazon Prime or Amazon that they can? I know The Year I Did Nothing is on there.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, you can now stream it. It's also on Vimeo. As far as like Flipside, can people stream Flipside right now?
No, he
like-
hasn't released it. He was released at one time because he was trying to help the community. So it hasn't really. He put it out on YouTube and take it out at the also.
But for all those who want to follow him on Facebook, you can find Abe Pagtama.
You can Google him, Abe
Google
Pagtama.
him. His IMDb page will come up, and you can also find Gabe Pagtama
Yeah.
for more information for the book based on true events, the Watsonville riots. Any last thoughts, guys, before we end the podcast?
Just keep supporting us. Our community is getting bigger and bigger. Everybody knows Filipino A's and Manny Pacquiao, Miss Philippines, Miss Universe. We're all there. So we have Filipinos globally, all over the world. There's no such country that there's no Filipinos. So everybody knows your nurses, your caregivers. We're all
Speak
over the
on
place.
Speak on it.
In the maritime, the seafarer, that's the maritime industry, the shipping industry is not gonna function without Filipinos. The world gonna go broke, and then your health, health, it's not gonna function either.
Shouts out all
without
the Filipino
Filipinos.
sisters out there in the front line. being nurses.
It really I feel bad when there's a lot of medical TV shows that they don't even use Filipinos as nurses.
No, wow, that's
You know,
that's a trip, man.
and it's just,
That's
wow,
real.
you know,
'Cause we're there.
Wow, it's about the population of Filipinos in America. It's probably about 4%, but the nurses, medical field, is about almost 30% that's working there. So there's a saying, where Joker says, "You want to be Filipinos? Go to the hospital." So. We can't hide. We're there. We're part of the technically, we're part of the mainstream. The Filipinos are part of the mainstream. It just people doesn't realize that we contributed a lot. So hopefully, you'll start watching us also in the mainstream media, in the TV, in the movies. A lot of the Filipinos actors, you didn't even know they're Filipinos. but they are in the mainstream actors also. But what we're saying is that we should put out also Filipino stories that we really into it, because in the beginning of my acting, I almost changed my name to Chan or KOC or anything like that. I didn't do it, but there's a lot of Filipinos doing that now. They are Liam or
Yeah.
they have Chinese name. My dilemma is that even though I look like this, I never get an Asian part. I'm not Asian enough. So okay. Again, that's it's part of life. It's not a straight line.
It's going to take you to a journey. It's going to take you to a
Yeah,
journey.
it's a journey. So enjoy the journey.
Thank you so much for blessing me with your time and dropping
Yeah.
knowledge on this and all our listeners. Gabe, thanks for having me. Watch out for Gabe's episode coming soon. Mr. Abe Pagtama coming soon.
Yeah.
MD Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Facebook Live. To all those tuning in, much love.
Ciao.
Peace. To all my folks, thanks for tuning in to MD Podcast. All my Spotify, Apple users, you can subscribe. MD Podcast. Catch the latest episode with Mr. Abe Pagtama.
Yeah, guys, thank you for watching this, and thank you for inviting me on this one, and keep watching a Filipino film.